What's up? What's up? How you going, guys? Relaxing sounds. How you going? Doge Rocket. Type Jack. How are you, man? Let me know if the music's like way too low or way too high. Oh, you liked the thumbnail for the video? The dollar strikes back? Yeah, I made it like just before, about half an hour ago. It took a while to figure out how to get the text to like warp to where it's like skewed. Yeah, good fun. Maybe I should do a video in the future, the return of the crypto or something like that. And then maybe a new hope for when we start a proper bull trend. I don't know. Let me fix up this background. Filter out the background. There we go. That should... It's playing off a bit because my backdrop is black and my shirt is dark, so you're gonna get this flickering halo effect around me, so sorry about that. I have to invest in a different color drop sheet. If I pump up the brightness, I think it fixes it a little bit, but it's very bright in my face, these lights. Maybe that'll do. So where do we come from? Yesterday we were, let's see, I think I streamed up until like 11. Yeah, so we definitely caught this, and I think we were pulling back at the time when the stream ended. So the stream ended around here roughly. And then since then we've rallied up, hit resistance, and now we've pretty much undone all of the effort of going up there. So that's why the title of this video was The Dollar Strikes Back. So let me show you the dollar index. Let me turn the music down as well, it's a bit loud. Okay. So dollar index, it hit a low yesterday and then rallied back up again. And now it's sitting against, or it's hit its head against resistance of this level here. So these lows here, these areas of support, are now the current resistance as it stands. So I guess the next goal, the next objective for the DXY is to break that resistance and then start using it as support, which could be a bad thing for, you know, markets like crypto and the traditional stock market. So, you know, I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility to see, you know, Bitcoin continue to go down here. you know, based off the fact that if the dollar index, if the DXY starts to rally and break out of its downtrend here, you know, that could spell a bit of trouble for Bitcoin and crypto in general. So let me see if there's any kind of trend line that we've got working here. Just trying to see if there's like something like this going on, you know? So if I connect up that there, say to there, but then there's another like subset of resistance, like something like this, perhaps. So from this pivot here, there, to like, to where it hit recently. Yeah, it's hard to say, but anyway, I'll delete them. Perhaps there's no real, you know, obvious trend there. It kind of looks like it might be a falling wedge, which is a bullish, you know, pattern. So something like, even if you chop off that extreme wick there, and then you take the top side down like that, that's kind of scary. Yeah, we'll see. How you doing, Sincere? Good to see you on the stream. One of the OGs. Yeah, it has been murder for the last 6 hours. It's been pretty tough to find support, but I think we've found it. Seemingly, like, you know, in this range here, we've got like sort of a lot of examples of support like around here, around that area. So it's more of a like a rectangle, an area of support. So, you know, in that kind of region, more so in the more recent sort of price history, it's, you know, within that box is like your support zone. And then it seems to be that our resistance zone is up here like this. So we are kind of range bound. Our lows are slightly higher, depending on where you're drawing them from, but you know, comparing low, 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 low. See how they're all getting higher? This one was the first punch down, and it's like it's come in equal, if not slightly higher than this previous low. But this low here definitely got pushed, and we're down on that. So there's a little bit of a break of structure there, a bit of yeah, a break in the pattern. Now, just judging by this trend line here, we had a low, you know, low, and then you could argue that's a low as well. That all connects up, and we've come in here and we've done quite a dirty retest of that support line. But so far we are on top of it. We'll see how long for though. And yeah, if you take this line here, the resistance trend line, it's even been reacting off that too, especially with that wick right there. So we'll have to see if that's going to be like the trend that we adhere to, or whether it's going to be this support trend that we adhere to. So we'll find out. And as far as the oscillators go, like the RSI has cooled right off. You can see that on the 1 hour chart. We've got a momentum wave, like a dip wave here, with a buy signal on the 1 hour. So that, you know, it's starting to hint that maybe there's going to be a shift here, a pivot, and then another rally up. I don't know how high it's going to go, but even if it will, but let's go to the 4 hour chart here and we'll just check. Yeah, there's still a lot of room to come down for Bitcoin here. You know, we could even get back in touch with this trend line here. this old resistance trend. You know, if we lose this one, maybe we would rally down and test that to see if it's going to hold as support. But yeah, I think Bitcoin's pretty much still answering to the dollar index here. You know, this is the hour chart for the dollar. This is the hour chart for Bitcoin. You can see that they're inversely correlated. You know, when the dollar comes up, it will go down like here. So hopefully this, like for the sake of progress on price for Bitcoin, hopefully this holds as resistance and it knocks the index back down again. I guess we'll have to see what happens, but let's check the EMAs. So go back out to the daily and I'll hide the drawings here. Still finding significant resistance off the 20 and 50 daily EMA. We have not by any means popped out of that. I mean, before the FTX collapse, we were starting to get on top of things. You know, just sort of like we were when we hit 25K back here. You know, price was beginning to get on top of that 50 EMA, the yellow line. And yeah, it was starting to look really good. You know, we were starting to get this another potential relief rally similar to this. Now, by no means was that the end of the bear market. It's just, you know, a moment of relief for price in this overall bear market. But yeah, it happened. The FTX thing happened. We got really deviated away from those EMAs on the daily chart. And only now are we starting to recover, you know, contact with the EMAs again. So the 20, yeah, we're sort of dancing around the 20. There's nothing really happening just yet. There's been no real breakout yet, or breakdown for that matter. So we've been pretty deprived for volatility for some time now. Many days, like it's been like a good 3 or 4 weeks, I think. Let me measure out how many daily candles we have here since the FTX drop. 26. So yeah, about a little over 3 weeks, I would say, of just sideways chop with no real hint at where we're headed. So this, of course, looks bearish still. You know, we're under the 200 daily moving average here, EMA. And you know we haven't even got on top of the 50 just yet, so it's still bearish. Looking for short positions is still reasonable. You know, that's probably the safer option for trading if you're going to do a swing like across a couple of days perhaps. Mind you still have to be cautious of where you open that short. If we dial down to like the 4-hour chart, you know, this was a clean rejection off the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. You can see there, it capped it and shoved it straight back down again. But now it's held by the 50. So it's like, you know, it's like we're getting squeezed between the two. You know, if we continue to chop sideways here, these EMAs are going to really start closing in, which will cause an explosion, hopefully, well, for the bulls, hopefully up, for the bears, hopefully down. So put it that way. So either way is good. We just want volatility back in the market to make it worth our time to be sitting at the computer each day looking for trades. So yeah, the technical breakout of this falling wedge certainly came to fruition. Like this happened. This was a good setup. The fact there was a hint here that we found support on 16K, right? And then we really launched out of that. So that was a nice move, except, you know, that 200 EMA is holding us still. So let's jump down to the 1 hour and check those moving averages as well. So here we go. On the 1 hour, we're actually finding support on the 200. So we haven't lost that level yet. So if you're looking at things from a 1 hour perspective, we are still bullish, like this is still a bull trend. You know, how long that trend lasts, that's another question. But for now, you know, if we maintain this level at least and start to build on that, then we can continue this trend up. But yeah, that's one way to sort of like get a perspective on what things, you know, where we're going right now, like what we're doing. If you were like, this is a hypothetical, right? If you were to take a trade here and you were to go long in this little cluster, because you know you've got the cipher indicator giving you a buy signal, you've got RSI on the 1 hour has cooled right off, and you're actually getting a Doge pack green shift in the EMA here. Hypothetically, this could be a long position right here, and I'm going to put that in there, and we'll call that like our FOMO line. Let's say we got a late entry. Let's say we got in just now. Now, you obviously don't copy this. This is just hypothetical, right? And then, you know, I guess the question would be, where do you set your stop loss in this situation? And that would be basically below the previous pivots. So, you know, maybe about here, just as an example. And then the target would be at least for a retest of this cluster up here, this order block. So you could target 17,300 just to be a bit more on the conservative side. You don't have to target the very top. And yeah, that's a decent little trade there. That would be 1.8%, almost 2%, right? If you're feeling ambitious, I guess you could target 2%. That's as far as a long goes. You know, if you did target that previous pivot and you had your stop here, that would be a 2.68 risk to reward ratio for a long position. Yeah. I might just turn this camera off just because I'm blinding myself. I have to figure out my setup so that I can balance it to where I'm not blind by the light and to where you can still see. I don't know, something. I'll figure something out. But anyway. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. I haven't looked at Doge this morning. It's been like a good 8 hours since I last looked. I would say it probably felt the pain too, because Bitcoin has retraced heavy. We're 10 minutes into the new day, by the way. Yeah, a similar move, right? We came up, and then we've been rejected and, you know, back down to our previous levels of support. So this push here went up pretty significantly, 11.2 cents. What, you know, just under 11.2. So that's a nice little trade right there. 7.8%. I don't know what happened to cause that spike, but hey, look at this. We're dropping out of, we lost our support structure here. We lost the support line, and you know, there is a risk that we, you know, get rejected by it on the way back up here. And you know, if we don't fight it, we'll get rejected by it, and that could be the proper move down out of this rising wedge, just like we sort of had here, right? You know, we got shoved down, fought to try and get back up in, but we got rejected, and then down we came. So yeah, not the end of the world. It's just the price action. Let me catch up with some of these comments in here. Yeah, Doge. I'm currently caught in a Doge long at 10x in cross. Plenty of margin to keep me safe though. Oh, okay. Yep. That's pretty much how I traded last year. I didn't do isolated. I went cross, and I had the bulk of my account sitting there, right? And I would only use like, you know, $50 at 50x, and then, you know, the rest of my account was collateral to, you know, have the margin for error. It's probably not a good strategy just because it depends on the price coming back up to recover that position. But hey, it worked on some trades, but it certainly didn't on others. So yeah, it's all trial and error at the moment, and yeah, I'm still like, you know, doing experiments with you know, different position types and going isolated with leverage, that kind of thing. So yeah, still learning the ropes with trading. Honest AF, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat there. Aaron, how are you? Musk lifts Twitter ban on Doge accounts. That's what made the spike. Okay, there you go. Well, that's a cool thing. How many people we got in the house here? I think peak was 20. It's starting to climb back up here. That's cool. I'll tell you what. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to share this stream through Discord and like Twitter and stuff. So let me do that. We'll see if there's a spike in viewers. We'll see if it has any effect. Let's see, social media, Twitter. Say I'm live. Link to the stream. Throwing a kangaroo for good measure. Just share this on Discord as well. So announcements. And I think I have to adjust the title because it's got yesterday's date on it. Yeah, it's got December 5th, but it's the 6th. Let me fix that. So yeah, damn, we are like approaching the end of the year quite rapidly. This year has been a shocker. I mean, it's been amazing if you're a bear. Like it's bear season. A lot of great shorting opportunities for the bears. Let me delete this thing. I'll leave this up though. This is like our little hypothetical trade, and we'll see if it gets stopped out. So far it's looking okay. Right now we're fighting to get back up on top of the 17k big psychological round number. What's up, Let's Mars? How you doing, mate? I like Mars. I like that concept. It's a lot further away than the moon, so it's more ambitious. I like the Mars target. Pepin, how you doing, mate? Good to see you on board. Hope everyone likes my little Empire Strikes Back reference with the thumbnail. Let me go back. I want to see if I can... Where did I put it? It's probably one of my better thumbnails so far, I think. Pretty proud of that one. Oops. And it was funny because like in the typography, I had to get this border, like see how it's not perfect. Like you can see where I erased it. Like the corners aren't nice, but it links up to the words. Cryptocurrency, the dollar strikes back. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is potentially still going to correct. You know, this could be a stopped out trade right here. If you were up, well, I'm sure you were in America because this was during the day, and you're into your evening now. But yeah, damn, this would have been a nice entry for a short. You know, coming down. That's like That's got to be at least 3%, I think. Let me see. So say we get in somewhere in this cluster and come down here. Yeah, close to 3%, 2.8 to the very bottom from that cluster. Measuring it from the very tip though, to the bottom of the dip. Let me get an actual tool that does that so I can snap on it. There we go, 3.2% from top to bottom. Very nice movement. In only, you know, how many hours is that? Didn't take that long. 15 hours. That's pretty good. That's good action out of Bitcoin, you know. Now the cool thing about Bitcoin is the lower that it goes, the more performance you get out of it. And I'll show you what I mean in a blank part of the screen here. Let me just go out to say the daily. And I want to go to somewhere that's not distracting. Okay. This will work. That's fine. It's all good. So let's use $1,000 movement. Or let's go 2. So let me adjust. We'll call this 56,000 and this is 58,000. So that's a $2,000 move. You can see as price goes higher, the performance comes down. So that's only a 2.87% return for $2,000 price move, right? But if you take it down to the region we're in now, you get 12%, 12.8% performance out of a $2,000 move. So the cheaper Bitcoin gets, the heavier the performance you get, you know? So the cheaper the better as far as trading goes. So I totally am on board with the bears here as far as trading is concerned. Like the cheaper we go, the better. From an investment perspective, obviously it's a totally different game. You're looking to accumulate, and that's also a case of the cheaper the better, right? When you're accumulating, because you get more out of your money. But yeah, you can see like the more expensive crypto gets, the less and less performance you get out of it. So when we're up, you know, above 150k Bitcoin, you know, it's only going to do 1.3% performance out of a $2,000 move. So pretty weak performance. And that's where you would turn to the altcoins because they're lower cap and they move heavier and more extreme. But yeah, yeah, it's an interesting little fact about, you know, the kind of returns you get the lower you go. So yeah, the dip was when the market opened. Yep. So for me, the stock market opens at 12:30 a.m. So I'm basically in bed by then. It's my bedtime. So last night, yeah, right around here. Let me go to the 5-minute chart because then I can really dial it in. So 12:30 a.m. It's like right around here. That's where the stock market opened. And then we've just come down, down, down. Stock market closes for me at, I think it's 6:30 a.m. or 7 o'clock a.m., something like that. Oh, over here. Wait, these are the crypto session breaks, my bad. I wonder if there's a way to change the sessions. Nah, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's go check out what the S&P futures is doing. Yeah, massive red day for futures there. If I turn the session breaks on, this will show where the day's trading was. So let me go to New York time zone. I go to the SPY chart just because it filters out all the out of market times. Yeah, so what's that? 9:30 in the morning, New York time is when the stock market opens, and then it closes at what? 4 o'clock. Is that right? Yeah, 9:30 to 4 o'clock. Okay. And the east side has daylight savings on. Yeah, pretty horrible day. That was our Thursday. That was our Friday. And this was our Monday. Yeah. Not great, but hey, it's to be expected, right? A lot of people were anticipating that move down because of this big fat trend line that's causing resistance to price. So it was not inevitable, but it was likely. It was highly likely that we got a rejection off there. Now the game's not over yet. We could still find support somewhere and reattempt that resistance, but for now, I think the more expected move, like the safer bet, would be the fact that the S&P rallies back down again. You know, especially if the FOMC come out with a surprise with the rates decision, or the Fed rather, just the Fed. If CPI comes out as expected, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to let the figures do the talking, and just play it by ear, play it as it comes. But yeah, if I was trading the stock market, you know, it would have been a reasonable area. Even now, I mean, it's not too late. You could probably open a short around this area with a stop loss, like a reasonable stop loss, like wherever whatever your account affords you as a stop loss. And then, you know, you could target these lower areas, you know? Because, yeah, there's been a very clean rejection off this trend, off this trend line here. You know, boil it down, keep it simple. If that short fails, like if you get stopped out and then you start getting action outside or on top of this trend, this resistance, that's maybe where you could think about opening a long, right? And catching that December rally, or, you know, that Christmas rally. But hey, just some ideas. Live says CPI is very likely not to be good. We are still spending too much. People are making too high wages. Manufacturers are not slowing down production. Yeah, there you go. So, interesting times, huh? I've learned a hell of a lot about the economy. I'm sure there's a lot more to know, of course. This is very high level understanding of it, but yeah, the whole rates decisions and you know, how inflation plays into everything has been, yeah, fascinating to learn. Okay, let's see, where are we at? I think, yep, this is still on New York time, so this calendar here. We are currently, what, Monday night, 7:26 p.m. New York, or Eastern. So Monday night being, what do we have today? The ISM PMI, the Institute for Supply Management, Purchasing Managers Index. So it came in higher than forecast. We got a 56.5. Forecast was 53.5, so a good 3 points higher. We'll see if it says actual greater than forecast is good for currency. Perhaps that's a part of the reason why we got this huge bump up for the DXY, right? It was this PMI result that came out. Now that came out at 10 a.m. Monday the 5th of December, 10 a.m. Let's just go back to our charts here. Bump that up here. So Monday, 10 a.m. Let's go to the hours. Oops. Nail it down to the 5 minute. We'll really nail in on when that data was released. Right here, bang. That really crazy wick down was the release of that result there. So that's very strongly correlated to when that data came out. 10 a.m. New York time. We pulled in a 56.5. Actual being greater than forecast, see? Is good for currency. Currency is the DXY. So when the DXY is good, the markets are bad. When the DXY is bad, the markets are good. So there you go. No worries, Jack. Have a good day, dude. Thanks for popping in and checking out. I think you've pretty much got the meat of it, of what's happening. So let's check out what the next thing is on the calendar. So we've had this PMI figure come out. We've got PPI coming out on Friday. So only 3 days time. Friday morning. Producer price index, I'm thinking that is. Yeah. Okay. So actual, once again, actual greater than forecast is good for currency. So we want to make sure, you know, if we're going to try and get any kind of bullish action out of this result, this needs to come in lower than 0.2. You know, this figure needs to be red, just like these previous times. If it's green and positive, that means the dollar, the DXY, is going to head back up again. That's the idea, I believe. And then we have preliminary UOM consumer sentiment. Now, UOM is University of Michigan. Okay, so I guess they conduct the study, or the they conduct the figures, right? The measurement. So now the big one, obviously, being CPI. We want to know where inflation sits. Currently at 7.7% inflation. Came in lower than forecast, which is what we want to see. So actual greater than forecast means inflation went up, and the DXY is going to rally off that if it goes up from 7.7. Now, if you go to trueflation.com, this is a tool that measures it, or attempts to measure it day by day, the inflation figure. So we're actually at a 6.2%, and you can see it's still on a downward trajectory. Now, the best that the US government can give us is a once a month report, which is looking backwards 1 month. It's actually delayed by a month. So whereas this website attempts to give it to you daily, and it's not looking back, it's here and now. So, you know, if this is anything to go by, this is a good sign that inflation is still on a downward trajectory here. We've pulled in a 6.2. We haven't been that low, you know, all year. I think we haven't been down that low for a while. Let me check trading economics inflation table for the United States. Okay, 6.8 was November last year. The 7 was December. January was 7.5, and you can see so on and so forth, right? There you go. That's been inflation. We've been on the rise since that COVID dip. You know, remember in March, there's January, February, March, April with these low points, and then inflation just went out of control. So pretty extreme. Let's look at a 10-year result of inflation. So you can see the level. We seem to, you know, hover around 2% inflation, which is the target for the Fed. Federal Reserve wants to see 2%. So we're way up here. We're, 7.7 was the last report. So we've got a ways to go yet. There's a long time before this gets under control. Let's look at a 10-year cycle, 25-year. Look at that negative inflation. Is that during the GFC? Things dipped negative. Deflation? I'm guessing? I don't know. Maybe Clive would know better. Yeah, year over year to cancel out seasonality, right? $25 years maximum. Yeah, wow, okay. So this is probably results dating back to the quite early 1900s. It looks maybe 1920. But there's the Great Depression. Yeah, the baby boom. Mass production, really, and advancements in technology causing markets to run hot, A lot of development, a lot of growth in the last, 70 years, 60 years. But yeah, this tool is very interesting, this Trueflation. You go to their methodology. The Trueflation Index, for example, is updated daily and is measured based on the price data of millions of items across the economy. Additionally, each item's price is gathered from multiple different sources to ensure veracity. Our data methodology and the quality of our index is a part of what makes this Trueflation the best in class. Right. So you can see, the big three: food, housing, and transport. They equate, a good chunk, like almost a quarter each, right? Not quite a quarter on food, but it's a big chunk of how they get their measurements on the things, on the things. Yeah, cool. All right. Enough of that macro stuff. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Okay, so we're still sort of trying to recover here. It's okay. It's looking all right. We're up 0.3% for the day so far. Could be a dead cat bounce or a falling knife per se. You don't know that this is the bottom yet of this move. But so far so good. It's trying to recover some of the bloodshed from the previous 12 hours. So yeah, it's going to be a big stream. Like when we get this coming up, the CPI on the 13th of December, so Tuesday, and that is next week. It's 1 week away, guys. CPI is 1 week away. Countdown begins. And then we get the funds rate decision on the 14th. So the following day, right? Just 1 day. So 2 big things in a row. It'd be interesting, the FOMC, the Fed, they have the CPI figures come out the day before their statement, so it'll be interesting to see if this comes in surprisingly good. Like, are they going to make a last minute adjustment to their rate decision? Or are they going to hold true to, decision regardless of what this comes in at. We'll see if they're see what they decide to do. We've already got a forecast on the interest rate here being 4.5%, so that's a 50 basis point hike. Much less severe than a 75 basis point hike, which is what we got last time. But yeah, I think the rate decision that came in, where it was forecast to be 4% and we got 4%, so that was the full 75 basis point hike. That was on the 2nd of November. So let's find that date. Now, what was it? The 2nd of... Okay, November 2 is when that decision was brought out. November 2. I have to go back a little bit. This was before the FTX collapse. Remember that. Back here. Yeah. This shenanigans here, like where we did this like Darth Maul, double-edged lightsaber type candle where it went up and down. It was all wick. So, a 75 basis point hike caused, a pretty significant dip. Nothing too crazy, right? Like it was, we only came back down to this pivot that we were at. And then off the back of it, I guess it was already priced in because the market didn't take long before it was back up and rallying again, right? So yeah, no big deal. It was already priced in, yeah. So does that mean that we've already sort of priced in an expected 50 point hike, in this part of the chart, right? I think I'm gonna go back. I don't want to bore you guys with me plotting out each exact funds release on the chart. Do you want me to do that? I can do it. Bitcoin's, yeah, pushing now. That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, maybe I'll do it off screen and I'll bring it across because it would be nice to have that data brought across. So let me do that. I'll do that. Keep it interesting. I'll try not to, yeah. That data over. So I'm going to pull this over the other screen so it doesn't get in the way of the price. And let's see. So CPI. Let's cover the CPI year-over-year data first. So November 10. November 10. Let me change this to US, so Eastern time, just so that the calendar lines up with this as well. So there's New York. Okay, so we're Eastern right now. And I'll divide the chart up into, might have to be hourly, because I think I've got a limitation on candle information here. It'll basically stop giving me candle data. Oh no, an hour's good. An hour gives you lots of data to go off. Okay, that's good. Excellent. So the hour chart will take us back to last year even. Wow, that's really cool. All right, we'll go by that. Let's find these points on the chart on the hourly. Now we're gonna like plot out the CPI figures. So the most recent report was the 10th of November. That's all the way back here. And it was, I'm not sure what time of day, but you can probably see on the chart. It's usually before the market opens, like around, Yeah, look, this massive green candle, this is very likely to be when the CPI last came out. And it came in at a 7.7, so let's write that in. And it was year over year inflation. Get rid of the border, the background, and we'll just... Actually, the background helps. Make it a bit larger. Now, should I write this in green or red? If inflation came down to 7.7, I mean, maybe I'll just keep it in line with Forex Factory, like the way they present it. So red came down to 7.7. Make it a little smaller. 24. Yeah, that's cool. All right. And let's keep it consistent. We'll get some arrows happening as well. Can you tell that I'm an artist? Or not so much an artist, but more like a perfectionist. I like everything to be clean and consistent. Sorry if that's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's annoying that it moves around as you zoom out, but anyway, we'll do what we can. And I'll turn auto off, and we'll move. There we go. That locks it into place. So, all right. Now, October the 13th, the 13th of October, was the previous release. So that was all the way back here. Yep, and it came in positive, so it was up. And I'm guessing that's here. So inflation came up. It was a lower figure, but it was up from what the forecast was. So actually, we'll keep it red because it was an 8.2 year over year. Put it on this side, just so as not to block the candles. I'm guessing it was released just before the markets opened at 9:30. So yeah, 8 o'clock. I think usually CPI comes out at 8:30 a.m. is when they choose to do it. Am I right or am I wrong? So we've got, yeah, that was the last time we got a CPI release. So yeah, there's quite a lot of hours between then and then. That's a month's worth, obviously. 8.2, and now we had an 8.3, which was the 13th of September. It's all the way back here. Oh yeah, okay. 13th of September. No doubt it was this, right? This candle here. So that was the 8.3 year over year. 8.3 year over year. Which is down from the previous reading, so that's why it's in red, right? .3, 8.2, 7.7. Hell yeah! So that was good. That surprised everyone. We didn't realize it was going to come down by that much. So it had a nice bullish reaction, and that kind of softened the blow off the FTX crash, didn't it? Though we already started to recover. We were already on the bounce, but it just made it really bounce up that much higher, that positive news off the inflation data. Okay, let's go back again. So where are we up to? I think we did the September one. We haven't done the August. So August 10 August 10, 8.5. Oh yeah, okay. You can see where the news breaks, can't you? August 10 and 8.5. CPI release. Now, what's the other one? 9.1, which was a hike. It actually came up from previous report. So June was 8.6, July was 9.1 inflation, which is crazy. So that's going to be written in green because it was up. It went up. Okay, so 9.1, July the 13th. I wonder if that was a Friday. No, Wednesday, 13th of July. Close. Not quite. Oh, yes. Yeah, you can see where the release came out in the 8th hour before the market opened. They brought out this CPI release. So that was a really ugly reading. A 9.1% inflation year over year. Now this has to be in green because it increased to that number. And it was pretty devastating to the market. It's funny because like you get the release, but then the market can still do what it was gonna do, you know? Thanks, Clive. That's a nice compliment there. I have considered teaching before. But yeah, dealing with kids. It's another thing. I like this format. You can't hear the students, you can't see the students. They just listen and type. I like it. It's good. I'm just kidding. So you can see, like, you know, these CPI data releases, they cause big bump in the night, you know, a big spike in volatility. It's very tradable. I know Clive has mentioned in the past that he likes trading during these releases because they're so dramatic, right? That they get the market moving, price moving. 8.5. So there's no real telling. Like if something comes in positive or negative, like it can really go anywhere. Like it's kind of scary. I don't know. There's no super real trend on. I think it's if it comes in and surprises everyone as to how it reacts, you know. So okay, let's get back on track. So we got the 9.1. Let's go to the June the 10th. June the 10th. Ooh, we have to go all the way back up to 30K or high 20s. All right, June 10 was an 8.6, and it was higher than the previous reading. So 8.6 year over year. Higher than previous, so it's in green. And what did I say? It was June 10, right before market open, so in the 8th hour of the morning. Right there. Now you can see why everyone's getting excited for this this next CPI release, which is on the 13th of December. Mark it on your calendars. It's 1 week away. What do we got here? So we're at 8.6, 8.3 on 11th of May. That's all the way back here. Wow, okay. May 11. Ooh, look at that candle. It dropped $2,200. 8.3%. year over year. Maybe I'll put it on this side actually, because it's a bit in the way. So these, remember, this is inflation. So inflation went up to 8.3. Inflation went up to 8.6. Inflation went up to 9.1. So that was peak inflation right there. And then we got our first 8.5. So this is, you know, at some point we had come down. Now this was in August. We rallied, remember Bitcoin rallied up above $25,000 after that positive, first sign of positivity. You know, the first reading that showed that inflation might have turned a corner. And here we are now today, like we are still this helps for me zooming out here, but yeah, 8.6, 9.1, 8.5, 8.3. So inflation was actually coming down, right, as Bitcoin was seemingly coming down as well. 7.7 most recent, and yeah, likely to be, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get a reading above 6.5% year over year? What do you, let me phrase this differently. Let me start a poll here. Will CPI year over year come in higher or lower than 7%? So I'll put the options as higher and or lower. Ask your community. There we go. Cast your votes. Remember, the Trueflation website is currently at 6.2%. So half of you guys think that it's going to come in higher so far. There's only 2 votes, so I'll let the stats come in. Maybe I should have phrased the question differently. Maybe I should have said, will it come in higher or lower than 7.7, which is where we're currently at. But okay, interesting. And that's all good, Dan. No problems at all. There's no obligation for super chats. You know, I always appreciate them, but yeah, by no means is it necessary. It's all good. No problems at all, man. Let me change this poll. Sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna delete that because I should have asked 7.7. That would have been a more interesting question. Well, CPI year over year coming in higher or lower than 7.7%. The options are higher or lower. There we go. That's better. Ankle pics in Discord, yeah. So the most recent inflation reading that we got. Remember, not only did it come in last month, but it was looking back on the previous month. So it's like 2 months delayed this when this data comes out, really. Wait, is that right? No, 1 month delayed. So you're looking backwards a month ago, when the report comes out for the previous month. Okay, that's cool. That's interesting. So 5 people have voted. Please cast your votes, guys, if you can see it. If you can see the option to vote there. And smash the like button if you haven't already. I see there's 25 likes, so that's cool. Appreciate the support there. I think peak viewers today has been 24. That's cool. It's all right. People are still interested. I need to start getting little sound bites coming out of this stream. Make it a bit more engaging. I don't know if you can hear this. Yeah, I can hear myself. It makes it so hard to talk when you can hear your own voice. Right, that's now it's changed my voice. Voice changer off, soundboard. I've got some custom sounds in here.
And what's your predictions, and where's your predictions? Hey, hey, listen, right here. You goddamn well know the game.
Right, we got Clive in the building. $30 likes. Hell yeah, I like that. That's awesome. Wow, okay, that's cool. That's 70% of people from 10 votes here have said that inflation will come in lower than the previous reading. That's cool. I like that. I'm long on beef, yeah. Hell yeah, man. I'm Doge to $1. When you're crying, I'm buying. So far, the short is working out. Remember, I drew this line when price was at that level, just to try and keep it fair. You know, if this was a trade and you were on pretty good leverage, then hey, this you could even take profit right now. You know, if you were on like 50x, that'd be pretty impressive as a little return there. But yeah, I don't know. You can let it play out. Maybe you could raise your stop loss here. Now that you're in profit, if you bring your stop loss up just above break even, that way you don't lose any money. That's the benefit of a trade going into the green as soon as you open it. I should show you guys my trades from last year. Some of them were horrible, but others were pretty cool. Wait, let me find these. These are funny. Okay, you ready? Okay. So this is what cross looks like. Let me make this a little bigger. Oh, okay. We got a 63%er. Now remember, just be aware that some of these are the same trade, and it's like just a snapshot as it's progressed. But yeah, damn, sand. I got burned on the hot sand. That was on cross, it wasn't on isolated, so this is why it goes backwards so severe. Sand. So you can see this is the same position. Entry 41264. It came back into the positive, so I I let it do its dip, and then I was out. 41264 is another one, down 612. I'm gonna find my most impressive. I think there's one in here that's like below 1,000, like down 1,000%. Yeah, this one, 1,483% on Chili's. The entry was 64, the last was 49. That was horrible. Yeah, don't do that, guys. Don't go 50x on cross. I didn't lose my account, but yeah, this was an ugly trade. Entry 58, last 62. That's a Chili's trade, 50x. Worked out okay. 420. 420 blaze it. Another ugly one on Chili's. It's probably, yeah, that's the same trade, just progressing down, I guess. So not progressing. XRP 75x. It only had to go up 1 cent, really, to get that kind of result. Or it's less than 1% because it's, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's the one that just kept growing, maybe? Oh no, these are different trades. Entry at $1.47, exit or last at $1.52 there. There's my Doge trades. So entry at 39 cents, caught it on the way up before SNL, I think that was. This is a cool Doge one, 50x. Is it the same one? No, it's different. So 39 cents up to 51 at 50x. 39 up to 53, yeah, that's the same trade that was just growing and growing. Growing. Matic? Yeah, I was doing some reckless shit back last year. Look at all this leverage is insane. 50x, 40x even. Mind you, I was only using like $50, so it wasn't a great deal. I wasn't like, you know, making crazy money or anything. But yeah, it was just experimenting. I had never done leverage trading before, never done futures. You know, I was probably like 3 months into it at this stage, like just learning the mechanics of you know, taking a trade where the liquidation is, and yuck, Chili's. I think we've gone full circle here. Yeah. So the best, this one, this was the really cool trade. This 1,600%. So 39 cents, 57. That was a nice one. We're gonna get ones like this, guys, in the next bull market. We're gonna get some nice trades like that. It's gonna happen. Just got to be patient. It might not be this year, might not be next year even. You know, we could be waiting until 2024. But the cool thing is we've got a lot of time to learn and brush up on our skills and our strategies. Me included. I'm not by any means an expert. I've never claimed to be an expert in trading. I'm learning just as much as you guys are. I may be, you know, I may have started a couple of years before some of you, but you know, in the broad picture, in the big picture, I am still a beginner too. You know. But yeah, this channel's all about, you know, learning things. Me picking up interesting things that I've, you know, learned, I suppose, and then sharing them with you guys. And the cool thing about the Discord channels is that, you know, everyone's got a different degree of experience, and they can share what they've learned with others to improve their, you know, opportunities or their their chances of success, I suppose. So yeah, if you haven't jumped into the Discord channels, like either mine or B's or whichever channel, and maybe you're a bit hesitant because you don't have much to share or you're a beginner, don't let that hold you back, because there's many people like you, and there's a lot of people that may be in the same boat as you that could benefit from your questions and your own journey of learning too, right? So it's all positive. All levels of skill should be welcome, So yeah, this is still looking good, this little hypothetical long. What are we? 0.5% up? Almost? What's that dollar index doing right now, the cheeky thing? Dropping. Good. It's dropping. Who knows for how long, and yeah, where it's headed. The dollar index has been pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Like, I mean, look at this dip and then that rip off the back of it, and then look at this massive collapse with some crazy spikes along the way. It's just, yeah, it's very, to me, it kind of looks like Forex is just as volatile. Maybe the percentage change is different. Like this is on that push there is only 1.3%. But if you're in Forex, and perhaps if you're on leverage, I'm sure Clive has been in that market for for some time, so he's got experience with Forex and legacy markets. So maybe he can speak to whether you can use leverage, or whether people do use leverage in Forex. I'm sure they do. Aaron has the trading bug and wants to trade. Oh wow, Rasta. They give much bigger leverage, 500 and 1000x. Yeah. I mean, that's because the performance is like slower, smaller. So you would want to have leverage. If things are only moving, 0.2% in a day, yeah, you'd want to amplify that as best you can. Yeah, I haven't really looked into Forex at all. I mean, the cool thing about crypto is you can get away with trading spot and you'll still get some nice results. Like, because when crypto's moving, it moves big numbers, especially on the altcoins, right? It's looking good, huh? Bitcoin creeping up. How long's the stream been on for this time? 1 hour and 20. Not too bad. Up to the 15-minute. Just to get a bit more information on the screen from the past. If you want to be a millionaire, start Forex with $1 billion. Yeah. Breaking down some walls here, some resistance walls. We just crept up a couple of little nips there. Interesting, interesting. Let's get a little measure, get a little measure tool from our entry. We're up 0.6% and climbing. What are we up? 0.64. Let me just hone in on this. Yeah, you can see it moving, huh? Let's go to the 1 minute because it's moving pretty rapid right now. Maybe these previous like pivot points are going to give us a bit of trouble up ahead. You know, points of resistance here. You know, even this one here is maybe giving us a bit of grief. This previous water block or line of resistance. So what did we hit? What's our maximum? 0.67 so far. That's pretty cool. At this point, I'd be comfortable moving the stop loss up to like, say, here, so that we walk away with some gains. But not too tight to where it takes us out, because we want to let it breathe a little bit. Like, yeah, it's still looking okay. Let's lock it onto the highest point, and then we'll just move it as needed. But yeah, the whole trailing take profit, you know, there's tools that automate this process as well. So on 3 commas, you can set up smart trades where you can set up a take profit that trails the price once it does go into any kind of profit. And that way, you know, if a really big move happens, you can catch that. And you know, you can trail it by 1%. So if it moves backward beyond 1%, you get taken out of the trade. But if you're confident that there won't be any wobbles backwards by more than 1%, a trailing take profit, that's just a good example of one, I suppose. Like, yeah, if you start getting the feeling like that this move is over, you can obviously just market sell or move your take profit up to let price take you out of the trade at profit. Otherwise, yeah, just watch it do its thing. Yeah, Bybit's pretty cool. It's got a lot of tools to help you like open and close trades, and you can actually like adjust your orders on the screen like this, right? You got a line, and you can adjust where your order sits by just dragging the line, and it updates your order for you. So rather than you having to type into a portal like where you want to take profit, you can just drag the line. I love it. It's way better. I love that visual aspect of it. The BTC still looking okay here. Bit of a consolidation off this move up. When I'm feeling more confident with my trades, perhaps I'll trade live I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but like I said in the previous stream, I don't want to influence you guys like following me into something that might be a bad idea. You know what I mean? That's why I try to just strictly keep it to TA. But hey, maybe further down the line when I get more experience with trading. I've spent way more time doing TA than I have trading, that's for sure. Trading ain't easy. A cool thing that Tim does, who's part of our community here, he paper trades, and that's a good way to sort of back test your skills. I mean, mind you, the emotion, there's no emotion in it because you're not invested in the trade, right? Financially, you're just looking at it on paper, so you're playing around with, but it's a good way to test strategy, right? So if you can prove to yourself that you're profitable on paper, then that's when you can start thinking about, oh yeah, well, you know, I obviously know what I'm doing somewhat. Let's back it up with a couple of bucks, like put some money into it. But yeah, it's tricky because once money comes in, then emotion, like the fear of losing what you have, can make you do stupid things like, you know, kill a trade before it has a chance to move, that kind of thing, or yeah, all sorts of different reasons. All sorts of different reasons why emotions can be your biggest enemy. Well, they are in trading and markets. It's not the whales that are against you. It's your trading emotions that you have to try and overcome. That fear and greed. That has made me dead inside. Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, that kind of is a good thing, I guess, in trading. If you don't have an emotion for or against when you get into a trade. Pro is still going down, but BTC is going up. Any ideas, Rick? Crow. I haven't looked at Crow in a long time, but let me go to the tether list here. So I might have to arrange it alphabetically just to find it. Crow. I don't even have Crow. Let me see if I can find it. CRO. Crypto.com coin. Okay. Let's have a look. Crypto's getting hammered. Okay, so Crow's coming down while Bitcoin's going up. Not sure. I don't know why. See, altcoins are tricky. Sometimes it's hard to know, like, for what reason, especially on something like crypto.com, like, unless there's some kind of news event that came out to drive the price down, it's hard to tell. Like, maybe it was just a bit of like a pump and then a massive take profit or dump, right? I mean, Doge did this yesterday or last night. I mean, Doge went up and then straight back down again. But it was more in line, I guess, with Bitcoin doing that too, right? This is 75% of people think that inflation will be a lower reading this time around, so lower than 7.7%. I'll end the poll there, that's cool. Looks like our little trailing take profit's about to trigger, or it almost did. Oh, we're still in. So that's cool. We were far enough away to where we didn't get wiggled out of the trade. So this could move higher and we could still be in. Hypothetically, right? A double top. Are we continuing up or what's the story? There we go. We're at like a little fraction above it. So now that we've made that move, I would be inclined to start moving the trailing take profit up to the next tier, like maybe there, you know? Maybe this is a little early to do that, like maybe we would let this candle close before doing that, but it's looking okay. The momentum's there. So that's pretty much, yeah, trailing take profits in a nutshell. Like price moves up, move it to previous like lows, and if it rallies again, you can move it up to the next tier, you know, and just keep doing that until a severe pivot happens and you get taken out. So this is looking like it might come back and take us out. We'll see. Very bizarre little move there. So we got a dip and then a rip and then pulling back again. It's getting pretty volatile up here. A bit shaky. But hey, I'm going to commit to this order. You know, if price comes down here and takes us out, then that's what's going to happen. Profit's profit, right? Just move this bar up a little. Let's see what volume's doing. So volume has dropped. Now, up to that high point, volume was climbing, so, you know, maybe this move still has something behind it. Oh, it's looking like it might take us out here. Yeah, looks like it's probably gonna... There we go. Pretty much on it right now. Did we hit... Did we hit the line? Yes, okay. So there's the end of that trade. We took profit. And there's still a chance that it could continue to rally, but you know, it's looking like it's exhausted off that move. So that's a 0.52% trade right there. So the risk to reward, like on that position, probably wasn't that amazing. So the position was here. The risk was, where was the stop loss? Was it down here that I had it? And if we took profit here, that's, yeah, that's not even a 1-to-1. You want to get it better than 1-to-1. So maybe the stop should have been like looking on the 1 minute chart, like at a previous swing low, perhaps, like maybe here. And then that would put the ratio into a better position. You know what I mean? A 2-to-1 risk to reward is decent. Anyway, that's that example done. Price could continue to rally from here, so maybe that trailing take profit was a bit tight, but either way, that's the gist of it. So looking back on it, just looking back on my whole experience, like in crypto, I think the first thing you should learn is risk management. You know, if you're going to bring money in, the first thing you want to learn how to do is to protect that money. So, you know, that should be chapter 1, perhaps, in everyone's kind of like trading or crypto journey. You know, how do you keep your profits, or how do you keep your capital? And delete these arrows in text. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we hold this 17K area, you know, this level. Yeah, risk management and controlling emotions. Yeah, 100%. Sticking to your strategy. Do not deviate from your strategy. Woodworking wants me to check out APPH. I'll have a look. Might have to add it to my watch list here. APPH. I'm guessing it's this one. App Harvest. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, that's been correcting. Let's go out to the weekly. Damn, okay. That's been bleeding out. Wow, it's been as high as like $43. $42.90. Indoor greenhouse stuff, okay. Yeah, it's I guess it's not faring too good in this recessionary period, I suppose you could say. Like with interest rates being this high, inflation this high, a lot of companies are struggling, you know, they're copping it pretty hard. And this seems to be one of them. Pretty close to zero, huh? Hey, if you believe in this thing long term, if it's got good fundamentals and you think it's got a future, then these are great prices, you know? That's the way I look at these things, right? But hey, it could still fall some, you know. There's no hint here that it's found support from like a, you know, a macro perspective. I guess this little area here was starting to look promising, like we were getting higher lows as you know, things were looking positive, but breaking down back below this low here would have been telling, okay, no, that's been invalidated, that potential shift in direction. So it's a continuation of the downtrend here. So if you zoom out even further, you know, you've got your lower highs. There's a high, a high, a high, a high. Yeah, it's all lower, lower, lower. The lows, you know, all still very much lower. And if you're taking the extreme pivots, like say this pivot, that pivot, this pivot, that pivot, down here now. It's all part of a downtrend. So same with Bitcoin. Like, we have not had any hint at an uptrend on Bitcoin on the macro scale since before last year. I mean, sorry, before this year. So like late last year, like the last time. So on Bitcoin, let's go to the weekly. Things weren't optimistic since we pulled in this higher low here and then this new higher high. Yeah, things have been bearish this whole year. Like, it's just the fact of the matter. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. It's been an hour and 42 minutes on this stream. I've had a good response as a few people came in and got 34 likes. That's cool. Thank you for the support and showing up again. And hopefully you got a little bit of value out of this stream. Hopefully it's been fun. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Most likely tomorrow same time. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good day or night. Bye.